that's a really good question. In terms of like a direct conflict, not so much, but I think that one of the most important things in dealing with universities is to just consistently remind them about our FNMI students. And that's something that I committed to last year and something I carried through this year with my platform. We created a policy on FNMI participation for the Students' Union. It's something I advocated for at both the provincial and federal level extensively. So not so much me having to deal with a conflict, but I guess avoiding there being a conflict, because reminding them that, yeah, hey, we have a lot of FNMI students and their values and what they want is important. So
personally, I don't think I've been in any direct conflicts of that nature. Just coming from a small town with a large First Nations community that, well, two, I guess, kind of sometimes don't get along very well, and trying to do business there, you need to balance the conflict and just make sure everybody is treated equally, fairly, and has the same opportunities to approach business, but also approach university and learning on the same level. And I guess that would be, it goes along with our policies as the ULSU. And I just believe in equality, I guess, so we don't really have to deal with conflicts.
I haven't personally dealt with conflicts with First Nations, but I think I would really like to show, like, I think there's a great value in that group of students here. They have a lot to show, to share. And I know I've learned a lot from even just learning in classes or just with other different neighborhood groups. That I'm really happy that where I am right now, and just like how Lethbridge is so entwined with its Native American community. And I think that it's so vital and so important. I think just recognizing that and letting everyone know that, and just making sure that all groups realize that. Is really important to make sure everyone's encouraged and involved to participate.
Thanks for that question. Well, I'm probably going to reiterate what my other candidates have said. I have never had an altercation or any kind of conflicts in that category, nor do I intend to, and hopefully not ever in the future. Being a student representative here at a school with a very large population of FNMI students, as well as dealing with the national organization directly as my position, I intend to hopefully represent them as well as I can, and have open communication through all groups and organizations on campus equally. For example, we have our NSA Awareness Week coming up next week, and I aim to participate fully and I can get a better understanding of our culture here on campus, and it will help me probably in the future in my position when the year comes around again and we have the same event. So hopefully I answered your question. But as to right now, no conflicts or implications at this present time.
Well, I'm in charge of grants on campus, so as far as conflict goes, I don't have specific scenarios of conflict, but I can tell you that we approve grants for Native American students on campus. We have the food cover, which we normally put about $3,000 a year to from Employee Initiatives programs. We just approved almost $2,000 for Native Awareness Week. So we do support Native American students on campus in those ways. Have I had conflict with them? No, but sometimes in processing grants, things come up, well, you can't have that in your budget. So maybe as far as conflict goes with that I've had that, but direct conflict.
Also not had any conflict with the FNMI group, but we do advocate for FNMI students on a federal level through CASA. The funding cap placed on funding for Aboriginal youth is a very important issue to look at. So we need to take a look at that and realize that we do represent that student body and someone we need to include. Native Awareness Week is next week, so everybody come out and have a good time.
Thanks for that question, CJ. I haven't had any conflict that I've dealt with myself between Native American students and administration, and I think there has been a positive movement by administration in the last couple of years in terms of dealing with FNMI issues. The gathering space is going to be put into Patterson Center and hopefully eventually Destination Project. I think it's a good move on their part. Moving forward, the VP External doesn't deal much with university administration, but certainly within cause there is an active policy right now about university accessibility, particularly for disadvantaged or naturally disadvantaged students, namely rural students and FNMI students. And the idea behind that is that we're going to try to lobby the government to increase bursary funding so that FNMI students